Family Leonardo, me Nasila did on multimedia, the CEO voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them, what they happen or gossip, what they bring out to una live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you don't miss any video we will try for bring out to una. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Good day to the members of the All People's Congress Party, the sympathizers of that party, and all well-meaning Sierra Leoneans. Most of me audio them, I can direct them to the membership of the All People's Congress Party. Not to say I like that, but because of watching the happen, watching the trend in the politics of this country. One thing I like about the chiefly system in Sierra Leone, that culture of the Poro Mende, when then they perform the ceremonial chiefs, apart from its trappings of pomp and circumstance, when it can reach that momentum, whether you're a ceremonial chief or not, you go shed tears. That my late uncle, PC Boyoso of Tonkolili district, he was the embodiment of that tradition. But not today you originate, not so in chiefdom. Na Buya Romende, Chenka Topa, Makama, Safroko, and Dibia chiefdoms. And anytime when an occasion arises, then he always invites their ceremonial chieftain there. Now they will really see the meaning of that culture. My elder sister, who is now late, Yambwara Somanoh, whenever Somanoh and land, my elder brother, then me will succeed am. If they play that Poromende, that time they come to the stage, then he herald the song. I saw Kachim Karubonko, ya yo Kachim Karubonko, Kufoe Mintai. That song they pretend a very significant meaning, both in the quest for power and managing the power. I don't have to elaborate on that. Ephesians, Allah permit me once again for talk to Ambassador Yassane, Lawyer Lansana Dumbuya, and the other members of the executive of the All People's Congress Party. They say fly, what is she done is scrotum. If you no be careful, na it can cause you pain. Me, I don't want anybody who don't dey or are holding in high esteem for lay false short of what the people of this country expect of you. There is a saying, nothing is hidden under the sun. If I put her in Creole, nothing no dey wey dey hide under the sun. Nothing. Except the smallest termite, you know they ever hide from the sun. So therefore, not say all their actions with regards the Sierra Leone's current situation are under the radar of our global partners. Now, they no seem for understand or appreciate. My advice to them is for them to be careful. Sometimes you think you are spiting your enemy by your actions. It is not always the case. It may be that you are blessing him in disguise and stressing yourself in reality. This one ain't the case with Una vis-a-vis una relationship with Dr. Samura Kamara, the APC flag bearer. Furthermore, you must not hate. You must not hate. You say, I don't like this person, but you don't hate. Hate is a disease. It destroys first your enemy and then you. In the quest for power, that is owner the fight for power. The owner who don't get the power, and una dey in the process for manager. If una no manage am properly, and una conduct am, una allow hate for be a dominant factor, then the consequences would not be too good. The group of persons who they hate, as time goes, the one who then they do, they carry that hatredness to, it will suffer. But in the end, maybe that painful. That what you now wish for them. The ordeal now for subject and to so they go turn against you now, what would be a matter of regret. Because power, as I been saying earlier, now a shifting paradigm, it a change in dynamic. Now the people with capital P, now in the judge. And now that they happen exactly. Today, whether we like it or not, Yasane, Nasana Dumbuya, the other man them, who they not the executive, now for recognize say, now the politics of the APC, Samura na the most influential and powerful person. Nobody in this country, whether if you don't be leader or not, for the APC, you are on 9 turn now. Because life get 3 days. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Yesterday, it will be Mr. Sori Kamara, Pasheka Stevens. But today, and also for tomorrow, in the politics of the APC, Samura is the dominant force. You like it or not. 9 times this. Today, tomorrow, in time go past. Then another person emerge. So now for be very careful. Now ask Kuna. That is Yansane, the Secretary General Lansana Dumbuya, Honorable Kagbo, the leader of the opposition, the members of parliament, et al. Or et al. Have you read the agreement on the national unity? What they call ANU in short. When I don't read that with thoroughness, or when I don't study and reflect on its contents with regards to its ramifications and implications on the body politic of Sierra Leone. When I don't read that document there, when I don't reflect on its contents, when I don't study them, and when I don't see into it the ramifications and the implications of that document, it is a legal document. And una for no say, just as I know, or una ought to know, that that document eight resolutions were wrapped, and they use the legal parlance. 8 resolutions were wrapped and encapsulated in the ANU. 8 resolutions. Now don't look at those resolutions with a critical eye. And if you don't look at with a critical eye, you don't study them, forget its real meaning and effect. Its political dimensions, ramifications on the body politic, not only of Sierra Leone, but the entire world. I don't tell you that, say that document will encapsulate the tripartite agreement, the recommendations of which are now being implemented. I tell you, say, now something will be the litmus test or the acid test will measure whether any elections conducted in this country within the ECOWAS or the AU. And for Sierra Leone, it is the epoch-making document. And for take pride in that. Even though its architect is Dr. Samura M.W. Kamara, but every Sierra Leonean because what has been the greatest challenge in elections in Africa and other developing countries, now watching Lenin, no, while watching Stalin say, he said the responsibility of the people is to vote. But then when they what they count, now they determine. And that is not democracy. When I say democracy, the best definition of democracy is giving people the opportunity to choose or change their government by exercising their inalienable right to vote. The second element of democracy is wherein everybody is free to say or write, to exercise the freedom of speech, insofar as it is within the ambit of the law. Now in a democracy, 2 elements. The other one say, government of the people by the people. It's too archaic. It has now been transformed to those 2 elements. But what I want all of us to note, there were 3 parties who want to be signatories to that agreement. This, the Sierra Leone government, not the Sierra Leone government. The second party, now the APC, that is the All People's Congress Party, and the development partners. These three bodies signed that document. And after that signature, the agreement now gets all the ingredients of an international treaty or convention in line with the Rome Treaty. This is very, very important. And they wonder why Yansane and Dumbuya, with their legal mind, very contemptuous of this document. And even all of us will note that everything in that agreement is binding and enforceable in tandem with the maxim. It carried the maxim, the consensus ad idem. None of these parties to that agreement question the sanctity of the document, who embody the 8 resolutions. So my advice to you, Yansane, Lansana, and your cohorts, now no joke with this agreement. We are not joke with this agreement. The agreement is sacrosanct. It don't go through the corridors of ECOWAS, the AU, the EU, the Commonwealth, and the UN. And even more interestingly, the US don't give them that badge, that acknowledgement, because that they provide $1.5 million funds from the taxpayers of the American people for can fund such an activity, for help in a creature that is created by that agreement called the tripartite, for let them perform the role. And we all know, say, the tripartite committee, of course, they don't start now with why they call them tripartite. It just start like the pot. You get 3 stands. And that 3 stands, then they know the again for beginning elaboration now. That's how they call them tripartite. The one stand is the Sierra Leone government. The other stand is the APC party. The other stand now the development partners. What then Gaia, they just feel say they get all the power for twist and turn, for getting the other 2 parties to the agreement. But when I be careful, you see, when they want to put this country into a state of anarchy. Now that's how they talk. The SLPB has no problem. When they create problem, an atmosphere of an uneasy calm in this country. Yansane, it's too much of you. Why? Why, Yansane? Why? I know they blame Lansana. That man don't get experience. He's not. Abdul Kago, they don't get experience. AKK them. But you see, Lansana Dumbuya, that cap what you wear for that we had. Boy. I don't think the man be look himself na glass before he go appear. The whole world they see him. And when they talk, they fling down and hit that cap. Although we say power is about, how for masquerade, how for this and that. That cap be not to a masquerade. He make fun of the APC party. Believe me. And you call yourself Secretary General of the APC. But stop. Very soon, plenty of people are going to talk. Because we don't talk plenty. This issue is not about Dr. Samura Kamara. It is not. What did happen in this country is not about Samura Kamara. We will not personalize this thing. If you hate Samura Kamara, you should not hate yourself. Or if you hate yourself, you should not hate the nation Sierra Leone. Because I believe that nobody know they were bigger than Sierra Leone. But when I left, now let me continue. The tripartite don't do a job. They don't make the recommendations. They don't make the recommendations. The 80, there was some unanimity. The two parties, they agreed on it. The other 4, the APC don't agree. Then get certain things them where there was no agreement from the other, that is the government. But they were part of the recommendations. And now the international community don't come with another one. Well, you and I, even though we strongly believe what their thinking is, but they have not made it or pronounced it for public consumption. And I want to mention further, we say the tripartite don't done their mission. But everything is a process. They don't set up the sharing committee for look into those recommendations and try to implement those recommendations. The other aspect is beyond Lansana Doumbouya and the so-called members of that executive, and all of us, is beyond with scope and competence. It is like when I go into arbitration. And when I not forget, say this thing don't go through the Security Council. And the Security Council, they don't mandate the appropriate bodies for the implementation of all the recommendations in their entirety, including Watching na there your direct responsibility. And that is the 5 who make up 85. They want to say, oh, let Samura can say something. Oh, this one, this and that, this and that. Not to irresponsibility. He as lead negotiator and in colleague, they don't do their own. They don't set up a body. Well, now then they look into those recommendations with a view to rationalize them and put them, then when they won't need the necessary legislative effect, then they go with that responsibility. Then the other one are the responsibility of the international community, the development partners. They are in the process. So let us wait. Let us exercise patience. I don't tell you say patience now the key. Now one of the hallmarks of power. Now one of the tools for power. For that one there, what they in haste, they get every reason for fall into a trap whereby they will make moronic mistakes. They say patient dog now eat fat bone. So when you go through some of them, which is the trend at the WhatsApp, you know. So then they just make all kind of statements. Then one day, oh, they for the, I'm referring to the APC and the followers of this electoral justice in particular. There are moles. There are moles. They get the one they already support the third force. And they claim that they are part of this electoral justice. If you believe in a third force, then it means you are not supporting the electoral justice. The chicken and the egg. You bring in a chicken and egg situation. Is that rational? You see, I'm taking the pains to come out with this form of lecture because I witnessed the transition that took place in China. The end of the Mao Zedong regime, when it transitioned to the chairmanship of Hua Guofeng, what happened to those 4 eminent, very powerful? Now, them and they be the control China under Mao Zedong because he had become decrepit out of age. Then, when the transition took place, and you know, they're in their favor, they called them, they branded them the Gang of 4. What did they when they go through and their supporters? You're unimaginable. Lansana, is that the situation you want for yourselves and your followers? You know, go take a break. Today they talk this one, tomorrow they talk this one. Look at this very interview today. Nada Kadidem. the online radio, watching Lansana they talk. The man not even hear himself. He just they talk boto bata, full of inconsistencies. Why? So that is the first aspect. Now we therefore go to part 2, which is the development partners, the UN, the EU, and the other bodies. But what I want for talk now, because that one day they beyond with scope. We just get for wait and see how it goes on. Now this thing, what a trend, now the political scene, the replacement of Dr. Samura as the lead negotiator. I answer ne. Loyal answer now. Why, gentlemen? Why? I don't understand you people. Una they ridicule the APC. A political party that was founded on very clear ideals and aspirations. Why? Now, what they vote for una? And una even for, I've mentioned the mandate theory. You know, only applicable at the national level, but even at party level. Delegates voted for you. And they're not given a mandate for lead the party into ridicule, as you are doing now. No. That was not the essence. And that is what you people are doing. We are not even getting respect of the membership. You see, now this authoritarian rule what we have done imbibe in ourselves. And we have done the practice all these years. We are not know say the world don't change. We all know say power is endlessly seductive and deceptive. Everybody will engage in the game of power for no than day. Now, an everyday exercise. Now, an everyday choir in the game of power. Trying to seduce people, to bring them on your side, adopting the deceptive actions, creating smoke screens for distract people. To me, as an experienced person, I sincerely believe, say, your decision to replace Dr. Kamara as lead negotiator is a decoy act and sending red herrings to throw people off the scent. But can it work? To paraphrase it, the only effect it will have, and you know go get, now for them to distract. A distraction to your membership. Because when I know say it is not within your power. It is not within your domain and cannot be done without going through the due process. When I all lawyers there, when I study law, when I study law, when I know how to go through the due process. And when I as lawyers, when I don't reflect on them principles then, normally what they deal with the precepts on what to do in case you want to bring in that, you have to create that power of attorney. Because when I forgive the power of attorney to Dr. Samura, and in doing that, if we prepare the necessary documentation, it has to be endorsed by Dr. Samura. Because now the lead negotiator, now he signed the AU agreement, the ANU agreement. When they gonna state house will go submit the document, now he sign. Now the international partners know, and now they know say now the flag bearer, now he contest the election. So if we act ultra vires with authority without going through the due process, it is null and void ab initio. We not get that authority today. You don't have that authority. We for act intra vires with authority. This is a matter for legal luminaries. I may be wrong, but that is my own thinking. So we have to make Dr. Mara as a joiner of party, because when the claim says Samura is incommunicado, and therefore you want him to be for work through the principle of joiner of party, and that has a process. Yes, Sane. You have been in this game. That's what you been doing, brother. The late MK Suma. That's what you do. Whether they go for this leadership for the APC, the man be free say because in association, he will serve as the link. When I destroy that mandate, you just they go to Moshe, they say you go, the man they go put money in bank, he give you. They go to a bank, they send a bank. Share that mandate. Look at the man end. He don't do that here so over and over. MK Suma, he was very bitter about you. Now we elder brother. Then he discuss with we. But you are left. You don't dare this here so over and over. Stop. What did Samura do you? We don't kneel down. We don't beg you. I got about the shit that area. When I go through the necessary process, when I know say people are very gullible, they don't understand the issues, and even they want them who are highly educated, then they refuse to understand because some of them refuse to read this document. They don't have faith in it. Thank God, Samura says, let us have faith in God. So even if we don't have faith in the document, which is sacrosanct, but if you have faith in God, you gonna know what you gonna do. When they take advantage of the situation that with people there, when I feel say they are not educated enough. And some of them know the issues far more than Huna self, including you. The ordinary man, when they follow up this thing, he understand and pass you, Yansane. So by adopting these tactics, it means a blind man, trying to control people who are what they see. I will come up with that legend, the owl, the chimney man say unyufu, who say in a God. I will read that for you, the legend, so that they will add some sense. Now you hate, and that of Lansana. So I want for them to remember the saying, because now they apply so. Do not be held a cheat, CHEAT, even though it is impossible to live today without being warned. Let your greatest cunning lie in covering up what looks like cunning. Do are the big una two, and una mande. Una go over this saying over and over. They una go advise una self. Then secondly, and also very disturbingly, it don't become the pattern for una. You Yansane, Lansana Dumbuya, Lansana Dumbuya, una they go into meetings, una they go over the media. As recently as this morning, now they make pronouncements, say, you are fooling the people. Referring, of course, to the proponents of the EJ, electoral justice. Say then they fool the people. And this is for you, Lasana. They tell me, say, we be doing a POW, one of the best secondary schools in this country. They say you not be very much good by them acting and so forth. But let I ask you the simple question, because nobody no go they will involved by their art, then thing and they. Whether you have heard or learned or followed the Toba Carnival. It was in 1945. Or do you know the American called James Toba? He lived from 1894 to 1961. If you don't know him, let me tell you, he was a celebrated American humorist. He became famous both for his comic writings and his cartoon-like drawings. But what you can discern from the acts and activities of James Tobin, now the moral. And this is a lesson that comes in vogue. You can fool too many of the people too much of the time. But not all and not all times. The question now, I want you to answer, the two of you, who is fooling who and why? Because when I say we want to support the electoral justice, you say, when I say we dey fool the people. But let me ask you, una na members of, senior members of NAC, and even today, Lasana Dumbuya, in that interview, Lasana Dumbuya, he said, the APC won the elections. And he go on further for say, I don't want for call, because I don't want for go outside the ambit of the APC. He said somebody stole the elections. But Guna as a party, did you get the approval? Did you convene a meeting of the delegates conference, the highest authority? For them to give una the power, say what we don't win, what the APC don't win the elections. They don't give una the mandate for let una lead them to elections and for win. Now, although una don't win, but una have to move ahead. Did you do that? Do you know of the consequences you guys are playing with? The people then get up in the morning. Some of them, I got up around 5 a.m. to go to the police station. Although in the end, they gave us the privilege. They say all the aged people. So we get we online. What they call 5, you know, it will not be plenty, the aged. So I voted early and came back to my house. But then when the lines were so long that they turn a net. Then they turn the here and there, say name no there, this and that. You know, when they don't go through all the hassle, they will not don't tell them, say, will not win. Now, when I tell them, oh, say, now, will not win the election. If you not turn around now for, say, will not have to move ahead, did you go and seek? Huh? We have to convene a national delegates conference and make a report. Say, we won the elections, but we want for Leona recommend. If so they recommend to una, and we want una approval for let move ahead. Let just left what you don't pass. Did you do that? Hey. The chairman be na SLPP. If I been venture, say SLPP win an election, then I go begin a shit on a radio say, no, although we win, but let's move ahead. Now a different thing. Because they know They know what they are doing. They are very much aware of their rights. The SLPP, I give them that credit. You know? I give them that credit. Very disciplined. But we not succeed for create that thing where we talk about, that cult personality. And I feel say una dey remote una self. Una dey remote control una self. Today una talk this, tomorrow una talk that day. Now that I say una miss that gentleman, grilled in the civil service. He was a good administrator like me, very much grilled. Because we were fortunate to be grilled by prominent administrators like GLV Williams, ML Siddiq, Jerry Jones, L.A. Coker, and of late, Koto Abdul Karim. So, and amongst our group, the bright amongst the brightest, white she say, you see the man, the way he carries himself. You can't but admire him. So, dear, it was she. That's an Adumwea. Now we had that cap where you wear. Somebody be sit down and know they look at the thing. Where they make you hate so. You see yourself now, if you, when you wear that cap for making it, if you look yourself properly, how they go see you? No? And when you listen to that interview, it was full of inconsistencies. You know, answer any of the questions. Now we had. Similarly, it was even worse when the one where performed today. Then when they interview you, then they stress because now they tell them anything of, what would make for let them understand what you are saying. He say, oh no, we no notify this and that. No, not notify. Then the thing don't come out. But left. Not left. Okay, thank you very much. But I want for I remind you now with a golden rule in the laws for power. And it says, do not offend the wrong person. He might be the serpent with a long memory. So, what you have to know, Samura don't succeed for putting all into a wool sack. Have masu do bam, bomga. I am tunk. Mama go tiba. A pumpo. That was, and then they enter now one hole. Then they enter. And when they enter that hole, then they trap them. So, they will make